Hey guys, how's it going? This is Dan with GrapeVineRecording, and it's been a hell of a long time since I've actually spoke to you, and I can only apologise for that. Kind of real life's got in the way for the past couple of months. But don't get me wrong, I've been still seeing everything that you have been doing. I've been, completely humbled by the amount of subscribers that the channel's still been getting, considering um, how poor I've been, actually getting stuff up, how lazy I've been as well. So thank you all very much for that, and I really do apologise for the fact that I haven't been really doing stuff. But this is the reason why I can explain it to you, because over the past couple of months, especially with university, because I think I've mentioned before that I'm in university doing a sound technology course, and with the transition into second to third year, also my kind of dreams and aspirations in this audio industry has changed a little bit. And I know these videos have always been geared towards music production and mixing and recording and things like that, where lately, especially over the past, say, 6 months, I've kind of saw a shift, and I've kind of felt that I can see myself more going into sound design for post-production or video game audio, more so than the music industry. Although, it would be a dream to work in the music industry, and that's always where I think my true passion will be. It's just I've been getting more involved with the post-production for video side of things, and I've really enjoyed it. So what I'm going to do is, for now, I'm going to just pretty much show you stuff that I've been working on and show you kind of certain techniques that I've gathered over the past 6 months. And then I'll leave it up to you to decide whether or not you just want to continue to see this side of things, or whether you want me to go back to kind of music production, or it could be like a hybrid of the two. We might find that there's a little bit of, there's room for both. Because what I've found is that in kind of doing sound design in post-production, you still use a lot of the same techniques, but you just kind of use them in different ways, and it's pretty cool. So what we'll do, we'll jump right into Pro Tools, and for my third year, for my final year project in university, what I've chose to do is five video clips in which I'm going to recreate the audio for, if that makes sense. This clip is for the game Halo 4, and pretty much all I've done is I've imported the original audio from the game clip. I've just recorded me playing a level, and then what you've got to do is pretty much mute the original audio and then recreate it yourself. And just making a point, it's not recreated to the standard that they've done. It's trying to, push things further and push the boat out, and trying to create things that maybe the game developers, due to the limitations of their audio engine or the game engine, were not able to do. So, as I say, I haven't been working on it long, so as you can see in the universe up here, I've only actually worked on this part of the clip. But I feel that once I've got this part of the clip actually sorted out, a lot of these sounds will transfer into the other parts of the clip. So what I'll do is I'll play the original audio first. So as I say, there isn't a lot here to listen to. So if I just play the original audio. Okay, and then what I'll do, I'll just show you kind of where I'm up to. And then what I'll do, I'll delve a little bit deeper and show you some cool things that I'm doing with Kontakt. So here's my one. There's no music in this, by the way. So that's kind of where I'm up to. As I say, I haven't fully delved into it properly yet. I've kind of just been layering certain things together and just pretty much getting ideas for how things will work. But yeah, this is something that I've figured out with Kontakt, which is actually probably one of the reasons why people use Kontakt, and It's something that I never did, or haven't done yet until now, and it's actually pretty awesome. So what I've done is I've loaded in my own sample of a gunshot. So let me just play that. That was really loud, so I'm sorry about that. But what I was able to do is, when loading it in, you could set a load of modifiers to it. So obviously I've just put a limiter, excuse me, I've put a limiter on the output, just because, as you've just heard, it's so loud, and there's going to be varying levels throughout the entire clip. So I've just put a limiter. It's not actually limiting in the sense that it's not, the threshold isn't any lower than standard. It's just to stop it peaking. So but it's this bit that I want to discuss, and this is the thing where I was saying before that I think there are some transferable ideas from this into music. Is when you load your sample in, as you've just heard, then this is one sample, just one gunshot. That's it. That's the only thing that's there. Yet, so if I use that throughout the entire clip, this is a 15-minute clip, and if every time, either you or another Marine in this clip uses a sniper rifle, that gunshot will play. And I don't know whether it's just me, but that'll get remarkably boring, right? It's just that same sample over and over again. If you think of it like if you're doing a drum loop or something along them lines, something to do with drums, and because it's kind of a similar sound envelope, isn't it, to a snare or something like that. And if it's just that over and over again, you've probably heard the term of just like a machine gun snare, where it's just like that same velocity, the exact same sample just over and over again. So it's just ba 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 bang, and it gets really boring, and it's very easily seen. You can easily pick that out of, like, that's the same sample over and over again. So what I've been able to do is, using this random bipolar modulator, which is just, modulation, click a little drop down, go to random bipolar. What that'll do is create, every time that sample's played, it'll create a random value, either above or below the original value. And what I've got that value to do is adjust the pitch. And then this slider here is actually, by how much does that get affected. So all the way to the left, there's no change. The value that's created is no different from the original value. But the more you push it up, the more variation you get in them random numbers. So if I, let me just find where my button is. So if you hear this, like so, and then if I push this further up and keep playing it, if you just keep a little look on this area here where the tuning parameter is, and you see just a little light above it. So as you can see, where that knob is facing, that's the middle value. So it's already tuned up by 3 semitones anyway. But when I start playing it, just watch the light move. So what that light is showing is the variation based on what this random bipolar thing is actually doing. So, as I say, that allows you to, obviously if you push it even higher, the variation is going to be a lot higher. So I kind of felt that kind of just around 4 semitones variation either way, at its maximums, is kind of the best thing. Of course, if you want to go any further, you can change it just to unipolar, so you can actually choose whether the pitch variation is above or below. With obviously bipolar, it means it'll move both ways from 0, So I've managed to do that, and as I say, just using the one sample then allows more variation within that one sound. So say like what I'm going to do towards the end of this process is go to a gun range and actually get some field recordings of real life guns, and I'm going to use them samples in my work as well. At the minute, these are just sample library stuff, just to get everything marked in place. And what I'm going to do is, say for example, if I only get one good shot the entire day that I'm there, I only get one good recording of a gunshot. And it's like, instead of going, God, I've just got to use that one sample over and over again, I can use Kontakt to manipulate it. Excuse me, I don't know what's wrong with my voice. I can use Kontakt to manipulate it to actually have varying pitch envelopes, or obviously these are getting played in, so I can put velocity changes in there as well. So the two, just so each individual sample has a different pitch and velocity. And you can even take it even further if you want, which one did I open? This one. You could get it to, adjust things like if you added a filter. Like, obviously, I'm not going to, set everything up perfectly on this. I'm actually just going to, do it as an example. You could set things again, like a unipolar thing to adjust, the loop starts, sample starts. You can get it, you could draw your own one in if you wanted to do it like that. There's ways that you can get it to adjust, to affect, the filter cutoff. So you can go external sources, random bipolar. To get it to adjust anything in your insert, the modulation window is below that. So you could get your cutoff to be adjusted by another, random bipolar thing. And then you can just adjust this slider to figure out where's the best place to fit it. And as I say, you can do this. This is where I was talking about the transferable ideas. Is these are things that can move over, into music if you're looking at specific drum production and things like that. It's stuff like this just to get a little bit more variation out of your sounds, But I think that's been really cool. I love it. I think, it allows me to think of a different way to do something that, would be really difficult to do anyway. Just lining single gunshots up is boring. It naturally is boring. There's nothing against that. There's no way around that. But this allows to, it's that little element of surprise in there where, obviously, when I play this back through, the values of them, of that pitch is going to be different every time because it's random. So, each playback is that little bit different, which I guess you can say is good or bad, but, I really like it. The next thing that I'm going to talk about is for these other sounds here. Is these. So that's what these guys are firing. For any of you Halo buffs, that is the Covenant carbine that the Jackals fire. And I'm trying to, take it that step further with manipulation of samples. I'm not just trying to line things up and go, that'll do, I don't really want to do that. So this is what it was like before I did anything to it. So it's kind of sterile in its sense anyway. So I've just got cavernous reverb, which is all the way up here. All that is just a large chamber. I've adjusted pre-delays and time, the length of it, just to suit the environment that I'm in. And then I've used this just to make it a bit brighter, like so. In comparison to that. But the best bit is this. It's something that you get through Native Instruments. There's loads of different places that you can get this, and there's loads of different, companies that make them. It's just a transient plugin. So it adjusts, the amplitude, the envelope of the sound. So obviously you raise the attack and it makes it more punchier. You raise the sustain and increases the sustain of the sound. So listen to the difference of this. That's it without, and then you get this. So you kind of get that, that decay just completely gets huge again. And, you could, this is just messing, I was listening to it and I actually wanted it to sound like it was going, small, and as it got close to you, it kind of got bigger. And I was looking for if there was any plugins that did like amplitude envelopes. And I was thinking, well, I've got this transient master here. And then when I put it on and I was adjusting all the little bits, I figured out that, I found something completely different. I was like, wow, if you increase that sustain, it kind of goes like bang and then gets bigger again, And I was like, well, although that weren't the sound I was looking for, it's absolutely cool and I'm going to keep it. I actually really like. So it was just stumbling upon it, which was absolutely awesome. And then the last thing, really quickly, is just what I call flybys, which if you look down here, just at this bit, you'll see purple bullets coming across the screen. Like that. So that's just by that turret that's floating on that thing. And hopefully some of you guys that listen to this either on monitors or headphones. But the one thing that I want to improve upon on my on my audio than the audio of the original game is kind of like the surround sound like element of it. And of course I don't have a surround sound rig here, so I'm only doing this in stereo at the minute. But if you can listen to it, these are just not the actual like gunshots themselves. These are just like the, I guess, bullet flybys. But if you just listen to this, so that's just through automation. I've just automated the pan. So even when you get here, it just gets absolutely ridiculous. If you come and zoom in, like the automation data's a joke. Like that. But again, I can import these sounds into Kontakt and then get each flyby to be slightly manipulated that little bit differently. Because all I've done so far is just put sound shifter on it, which is just loading it 8 semitones. So that's just the standard 8 semitones and that's it. Where if you do it the other way, you could get it to, you could get it around 8 semitones, but get it to vary a little bit between that as well. But I think that's kind of it. I haven't made great, like I've done a little bit of things on this. I'm waiting to do an ADR session, which should, allow me to get all the vocals, like in the dialogue and stuff recorded, which I think will bring everything together. For music for this, I've just used the Halo soundtrack. I'm just going to, we're not getting marked on our musical prowess on this. It's just a sound design exercise, so I'm not going to be too concerned about writing the music or anything like that, because it just makes it a hell of a lot more difficult than it needs to be. But that's kind of it. It's kind of an update of what I've been doing the past 6 months. It's kind of opening the floor to you guys for you to let me know what you want to see. If you want me to do more post-production stuff, I can do that. If you want me to go back and do more music stuff, I can do that. If you want me to create a new hybrid of things to do, I guess I can do that as well. As I said, with these, if I do any more of these, which, I will be doing more so, just as kind of to let you see the work I'm doing, because I'm doing Halo 4 as one of my clips. I'm doing the opening level of Call of Duty Ghosts, where it's in space, which is kind of offering, a completely different level of sound design than I've ever done before. The other game, what other game am I doing? Metro 2033, where it's all in like underground tunnels. Again, varying degrees of sound design. And I'm doing 2 movie clips as well. One of them is the opening scene of Blade Runner, and the last clip I'm doing is kind of a middle scene in Chronicles of Riddick. So, as I say, there's a lot of varying stuff there, each with their own challenges and obstacles to overcome. But, that's why we do it, I guess. This is why we want to go into this type of work, so we can push ourselves and learn new things. And obviously, I want to share that with you. I want to show that this can all be done with a remarkably modest setup, and hopefully this will allow me to kind of, find people who want to watch, who are interested in sound design and interested in post-production. So, let me know, because I can go back to the beginning of this type of thing and show how I've lined everything up, and, how I got that basic sound design and how the reverbs work and things like that. So just let me know. But yeah, I'm very sorry that it took so long to get back to this. I really do want to, get back into creating this stuff, but it's just been so hard, because as you can imagine, of how busy I am trying to get this stuff done. But just let me know either way, and I will definitely take it all on board moving forward, and we'll come up with the best thing for you guys. So yeah, this has been Dan with GrapeVineRecording, and I'll see you all very soon. Bye bye.